Hello students, welcome to our today lecture. In our today lecture, we are going to discuss about that how to apply Granger causality test. Basically, Granger causality test tell us about that which one of the variable is affecting the other variable. So it may be possible that only one variable is affecting the other one, then we say it one way causality. If both of the variables are affecting each other, then we say it as two-way causality, that both of the variables are affecting each other. So in our today lecture, we are going to discuss that how to apply Granger causality test and how to interpret its result. So first of all, we have to bring all of our data set to stata file and make sure that your data set is stationary. As our today lecture is not based on the stationarity topic, we have already covered this thing in our previous lecture, so we are assuming that our particular data set is stationary. So first of all, we have to bring all of our data set from Excel to stata file. So I have copied all of my data set. Now go to data editor and paste your data set here. And here it is asking, do you want to treat the first row as variable names or data? Yes, we want to treat first row as variable name. Then click on this option. So here you can see that all data set is now present here in stata file. Now go back to statistics, then go to multivariate time series, then go to vector auto regression. So here you have to select your dependent variables. In Granger causality test, there is no dependent and there is no independent. All the variables are dependent. There is no discrimination between the variables. As we are saying that one variable is affecting other and the other variable is affecting also the first one. So there is no discrimination of dependent and independent variable. At one time, a variable may be dependent and that variable is maybe independent variable at the second time. So from here we have to select our variables. Let's say we are taking only these two variables. One is population and the second one is GDPG. We are going to check either there is a causality between these two variables or not. And from time settings, you have to select time variable as year. And from these options, you have to select the nature of your data set. As the nature of my data set is yearly, so I am going with this option of yearly. Then click on OK. And here you can see that there is one another option which is very next to the model, and it is named as model 2. Basically, model 2 is used when you have very small sample size, like for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. Then you have to go with this option. As you can see that here is mentioned, report small sample T and F statistics if you have very small sample size. But in our case, we have data of more than 20 to 25 years. Here you can see that we have data of approximately 30 years. So we are not going to do any change from this, but keep in mind that if you have small sample size, then you have to go with this option and you have to click you have to check both of these options. Now and we are taking only two legs at this time. Then click on OK. So here is the basic results for VAR model, vector auto regression model. But we are interested into apply Granger causality test. So for the testing of Granger causality test, first thing is to apply VAR, as we have already applied the VAR model. Now we will see that how to apply Granger causality test and how to interpret it. So now go to statistics, then go to multivariate time series analysis, then go to VAR diagnostics and test, and here you can see there is an option of Granger causality test. Then click on this option. Then it is asking that use active VAR or SVAR results. As we have applied VAR model, so we are interested in VAR model results. Then click on OK. So here you can see that this is the results for this particular table. This particular table is showing the results for Granger causality test. So in this option you can see that GDPG is Granger cause POPD, and in these results POPD is Granger cause this variable which is GDPG. So we have to see the probability value. If the probability value is less than 0.05, then we have to reject the null hypothesis. And if the probability value is greater than 0.05, then we have to accept the null hypothesis. So first of all, we have to write down the null and alternative hypothesis for both of these two. In one case, GDP is causing POPD, and in the other case, POPD is causing GDPG. That is our hypothesis for both of these. So now let first discuss about these results. So the null hypothesis for this particular model will be H naught GDPG does not cause POPD, and H1 is GDPG does cause POPD. So these are the null and alternative hypothesis, and we have to see this p value. As we can see that probability value is less than 0.05, so it means that we have to reject the null hypothesis. So by rejecting null hypothesis, it means that we have to accept the alternative hypothesis, which means that GDPG does cause POPD. It means that GDPG is causing POPD. So these are the conclusion for this model. Now let's see, either POPD is also causing GDPG or not. So we have to rewrite the null hypothesis again. So here we have to write POPD does not cause GDPG, and here we have to write POPD does cause GDPG. So these are the null and alternative hypothesis when we want to say that either POPD does not cause GDPG or POPD does cause GDPG. So we have to see the probability value. If the probability value is less than 0.05, then we have to reject the null hypothesis. But in our case, the probability value is greater than 0.05, which means that we have to accept the null hypothesis. So when we are accepting the null hypothesis, it means that POPD does not cause GDPG. So this is the conclusion from this scenario. So we have concluded that GDPG is causing POPD, but POPD does not causing GDPG when we have taken two log. But this results can be changed when we include more number of lags. So let's see for example, if we include 4 or 5 lags, and then we will see that what will happen then. So go to statistics, go to multivariate time series, then go to vector autoregression. Here you have to increase, let's say we are increasing lag from 2 to 5, then click on OK. Then go again to statistics, multivariate time series analysis, go to VAR diagnostics, then go to Granger causality test, then click on OK. So here you can see that now when we increased our lag from 2 to 5, in this scenario GDPG is still causing POPD, as it was also causing in earlier case when we have taken 2 lags. But when you look at the value of probability value of this scenario, it is almost near to significant, as it is very close to 0.05 or 5%. So it means that when you increase or decrease the number of lags in your model, your result also changes. It will change the whole scenario. What does it mean? It means that it might be possible that any particular variable is not causing other variable in 1 or 2 lag, but it may have a relationship after 5 or 6 lag. So in your research paper you must have to change the number of lags, and by changing the number of lags you can get better result. So this is all for our today lecture. If you have any question you can ask me freely.